What is up, all of my lovely geeks, nerds, and weirdos? I hope you all are doing well. Today I have a new type of video for you, and as you can see by my shirt, it is a collection video. And this goes into the part that I was talking about in the intro, where I told you guys I'm going to be going over some collection videos just so you guys can really see who I am as a person and what I'm into. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so today's video is about my Riverdale collection. I love the show Riverdale. Ever since I watched season 1 with my best friend, I have been hooked ever since, and it is one of my favorite shows of all time. And so naturally, like most people I'm sure do with their favorite TV shows and or movies, is they collect memorabilia for that show or movie just to show that they appreciate it and that they're big fans of it. Well, that is what I have been doing with Riverdale. I've saved up on some stuff, and I've gotten some stuff from Comic-Cons and whatnot, so I'm going to show you guys in this video today. It is going to be a little bit longer than some of my usual videos, just because we have a lot of things to go through, but we will get through it together. So let's get started. So the first thing that I am going to start with is, of course, the pop figures. I love the pop figures. I think they're super cute, and I like collecting them. And so I have a whole bunch of pop figures from Riverdale that I'm going to show to you now. So the first one that I have is this Betty one. And she came with a little stand for her feet because she does not stand on her feet very well. So she has a little plastic stand at the bottom. And this is one of the really cute outfits that I've seen Betty in various seasons. This outfit is from season 1, I believe, with the dinner scene. And so this is Betty Cooper when Jughead had that flashback where they were married and so on and so forth. So I think this is a super cute pop figure, and I really like this one. And you guys can probably tell by my shirt who my favorite character is. I have to get every single pop figure that I can of him, and of course it is Mr. Jughead Jones. I love Jughead. I think he is such an amazing character, and they definitely picked the right character, or the right person, in my opinion, to play Jughead Jones. Cole Sprouse is perfect for it, and I just love his character. So this is the pop from, again, the flashback scene with Jughead and Betty when they are married. And he has his beanie, his classic beanie in the show that turns into a gray crown. So this is a really, really cute pop. And I tend to keep these two together on my shelf because they look so cute together. And that is also one of my favorite ships, is Bughead. And so I keep these two together on my shelf because they are adorable together. So the next pop figure that I have is Kevin Keller. And he was not too bad to find. The hardest one out of the ones that I've shown you to find was this one. He was super hard to find for the longest time, and I finally found him, I believe, at one of the cons that I went to, or at Hot Topic. I'm not exactly sure, but I did find him, and I was super happy when I did, and I bought him straight away. But Kevin Keller was all over the place, even though he was a Hot Topic exclusive. He was all over every Hot Topic that I went to. But this is Kevin Keller. I do really like Kevin Keller in the show. And I appreciate that they are going with the LGBTQ support with this character and also with Cheryl and Tony. If you guys have not seen the show, it does promote LGBTQ, which I think is something that's really, really great and that is very much needed. So there's Kevin Keller. And then the next one that I have, and these are all out of their boxes because I don't tend to keep them in their boxes because they aren't exclusives. I mean, he was a Hot Topic exclusive, but at the same time, I took him out of the box because I tend to take the Hot Topic exclusives out of their boxes just because, you know, it's not a San Diego Comic-Con, you know, whatever. It doesn't have the sticker on it. So if it doesn't have a special sticker on it, it comes out of the box. But I do keep the boxes just in case I want to repackage them and sell them one day. So that's why they are out of the boxes. I do have some that are in the boxes that are going to be shown, but right now these are the ones that are out of the box. So the next one that's out of the box is Reggie Mantle. And he's in his little Bulldogs uniform. He's number 14. And I got him specifically because I didn't have him in the collection yet. There are so many like Archie and Veronica and Jughead and like the core four, which I understand because it really is kind of about them. There's also a lot of Cheryl, even though she's not directly a part of the core four, she is still a very significant character. So they always make them in different outfits, and I kind of wanted just a new character with this one. So there's Reggie Mantle. And then we're going to get to the ones that are in their boxes, and I kept them in the boxes even though I just said I take the Hot Topic exclusives out. These are different Hot Topic exclusives. These are the pre-releases of the box characters that I'm about to show you right now. They are pre-released, so I leave them in the box just for that reason. And so we're going to start off with, of course, Miss Cheryl Blossom. And then you can see they have the sticker right here. That's a Hot Topic exclusive pre-release. So that is why they are kept in the boxes. But that is Cheryl Blossom, and she is number 590 out of the pop figure world. And then on the back, as always, if you are a pop collector, on the back you will find the rest of the characters in this collection that you can get. So these are the rest of the characters on the back, and then there's Cheryl. And I try to keep the boxes in the best condition that I can because, like I said, there may come a time when I'm older and I just want to kind of sell these. And so every good pop collector knows that you got to keep the box in pristine condition so that they will go for a higher value. So there's Cheryl. The next character that I'm going over is Josie McCoy. She is number 616 out of the collection, and you can see that she is in the box because she is a Hot Topic, or not a Hot Topic, I'm sorry, a Comic-Con exclusive. She is the 2018 Summer Convention limited edition, so there's not many of these guys out in the world, and she is a limited edition pop figure for the Riverdale set. She still goes with the same characters that are on the back of this box in the set, and she was released at Comic-Con in 2018, which I loved, and I waited at every Hot Topic I could find or any store that I knew sold the summer convention exclusives, and I waited and finally got her, which I was super psyched about. So there is Josie McCoy in her Josie and the Pussycats costume. Sorry, the glare on my light is, there we go. So there's Josie McCoy. The next character that I'm gonna go over is Betty Cooper. This is the version of Betty Cooper in season 1. And this is the other Hot Topic pre-release. All of these guys are the pre-release Hot Topic ones, so they stay in their boxes. She has the iconic yellow crown sweater, if you guys can see that. And she has the iconic ponytail, which Kevin says is beyond reproach, and honestly it's true. So this is the Betty Cooper pop figure, and she is number 587 in the pop collection. The next box figure, of course, is my man, Jughead Jones. This is the serpent jacket Jughead Jones without his beanie, and he is in the box even though he has the yellow tag that says Hot Topic exclusive. He is in here because he came with the pre-releases of the other characters. And so this is Jughead in his serpent's jacket. You can't see it because it's on the back of his jacket, but here he is with the serpent jacket. This Jughead was also very, very hard to find for a long time, and I finally found him, and it is the original Jughead of the collection, the one that is on the back of this, on the other boxes, and he's also a pre-release. And this is him with his beanie and his iconic S shirt, as well as his iconic jean jacket. So there is Mr. Jughead Jones, and this is the one out of the box figures, again, that was super hard to find. But I eventually found him and now have him as part of my collection, which I'm super happy about. We have 2 more pop figures to go over in the boxes. Next we have Veronica Lodge. This is the original Veronica Lodge that is in wave 1 of this series. She is number 588. And if I didn't already mention, the 2 Jugheads, their numbers are 591 on the serpent jacket one. And on the beanie one, it is 589. And then Miss Veronica Lodge is 588. Again, this is the wave 1 Veronica of this series. Kevin Keller and the ones that are out of the boxes are wave 2 of the Riverdale series. So there is Veronica. And of course, it wouldn't be Riverdale without Archie Andrews, who is the literal star of this TV show. There's Archie Andrews, and this is wave 1 Archie Andrews. So there's Archie Andrews in the box, and he is number 586. So that is it for all of the pop figures. We are now going to transition into clothing, and then we're going to go to comics and kind of miscellaneous, and then jewelry, and then art, and then, yeah. So that's the order that we're gonna go in. So clothing-wise, I have a ton more shirts like this, trust me, but a lot of them are scattered at the different houses that I live in. So I only have a couple to show you right now. So the first one is this one. Like I said, I love Jughead Jones. So this is the black t-shirt that has the Jughead E as the iconic crown, and he's making his usual scowl. He's got a teacup, and I just like really love this shirt. So there's Jughead, and then I have this one, which basically says my sardonic humor is just my way of relating to the world. Again, with his iconic scowl. Cole Sprouse scowls a lot in this TV show, and it's really funny. And then I do have Betty's iconic yellow crown sweater. That's gray, and it has the yellow crown on it. And I really love this. I wear this with a collared shirt, and it's just super, super cute. It's long sleeved, of course, but I have Betty's shirt. And then, like I said, he's still my favorite character. I also have a sweatshirt that says Team Jughead on it because I just love this character. So the next shirt is kind of a little chibi looking Jughead, and it has his iconic spray painted name across the top. That is the name that he spray painted in the TV show. That's how he spray painted it, and it has that iconic one with the crown on the end of it, which is super cute. And then this is more of an accessory, I would say, but I like to include it in the clothing section because you do wear it. I have two different Jughead beanies. This one is from Hot Topic, and this is kind of the one that looks more, a little bit more authentic to the TV show. And then I have this one, which was like a little Halloween one that I got at a Halloween store, which is kind of a little less authentic, but I kind of liked it and kind of wanted to have the two different versions. So I have both of these beanies for Jughead. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the miscellaneous type stuff. I do have a whole bunch of comics because this show is based off of the Archie comics. I know some of you watching may have grown up reading those, and so this is based off of the Archie comics, but it is not accurately based off of the comics. The characters are the same, and I think some of the storyline is the same, but yeah. So I collect the comics just because, you know, they're part of this world, and I wanted to see where this world started out. And so I'm only going to go over the series that I have. So like they're all in order by number, and so I'm just gonna go over what different series there are and what my favorite one is out of each of the series as well. So let's get into that portion of this video. I also have magazines, books. I just love all things Riverdale. And so we're gonna go over all of it. So the first thing that I have is Betty's Diary. Actually, somebody got this for me for a birthday present one year, and I have Betty's Diary. It has the Riverdale R on the bottom, and it says Riverdale across the top, and on the back it says Riverdale, and it just has the various pages of it. So it has the Riverdale High School crest on the front of it, and yeah, and then it just says Riverdale on the pages. It's just a really cute little diary notebook, which I love. the next thing is I also try, because I love the actors in Riverdale, and so I try to get as much as I can magazine-wise that has their like faces on it and stuff like that. So I of course got Lily Reinhart on the cover of the Cosmopolitan, as well as Miss Camila Mendez, the two beautiful girls of Riverdale out of the core 4. So I got those magazines just because they had the Riverdale characters on the front of them. They're still the same issue, I believe, just with both of them on the cover. Next, I have 17 magazines, and the only one that I unfortunately wasn't able to get when these came out was Lily Reinhart, and I was really sad about that, but I'm sure that I will be able to find that issue online somewhere with her on the cover. But I do have Cole Sprouse on the cover of 17, looking all cute in his red bomber jacket. And then I have Archie Andrews, or KJ Apa. He has a guitar. And then I have Camila Mendez. There she is. And so I just need to find the Lily Reinhart issue of this 17 magazine, and then I'll have the core 4. But it does say Riverdale's Camila Mendez plus Cole, KJ, and Lily in the heart right here. So I just need Lily Reinhart to complete the 17 magazine set. The next thing I have is the Riverdale book. This is a book that was very loosely based off of the show, and it was the day before, and it's just, I haven't read it yet. I plan to read it sometime over the summer, but it starts on the 4th of July, and I think it will be a very interesting read. So there's the Riverdale book. The next thing I have is from San Diego Comic-Con. Both of these are actually. So this is from last year, so the 2019. No, I'm sorry. This is the 2018 version, I think. Yeah, I think this is the 2018 version of the Comic-Con cover with Riverdale. This is the San Diego Comic-Con cover, and you were able to get these TV guides everywhere, and they have different covers. So these are the 4 different covers that you could have gotten. You could have gotten Supernatural, Riverdale, The Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, Black Lightning, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, so all the DC ones, and then Mad Magazine, which is just the regular one. But I, of course, picked the Riverdale one so that I could put it in the collection, and it just goes over some of the stuff. This one says the exclusive scoop on your favorite shows. And so they have a little segment in here about Riverdale and just, you know, what the cast thought about different scenes and whatnot. There's also, you know, Supernatural in here. It's just a fun little TV guide for Riverdale and all things CW. And this one is also from Comic-Con. This is actually the 2019 version. So this is the 2018. This is the 2019 TV guide version. That's the new cover that they put on the 2019 one. And again, you can get Supernatural, Batwoman, Riverdale, and Powerhouse as the 4 covers. And so they have all of your favorite cast and crew and everybody just talking about it. Here's the little segment that they have on Riverdale. And if you want to read it, go ahead and pause this video. Otherwise, keep skipping through because there are spoilers from the show in here if you haven't watched it yet. but this is the Riverdale 2019 TV Guide cover. And now we get into the comics. I have so many comics of Riverdale because, like I said, I just love the comics, and I wanted to dive into a new aspect of the show that I know and love. So I'm just gonna go through it by series and what series you can get. Like I said, they're all in order by number, and then I will tell you what my favorite comic was and also what my favorite cover was. So of course, in the comic series, we have the Archie series. This is actually a compendium for some of the comics, but we have the Archie series. And so one of my favorite comics that I would say is in this series, cover-wise, is this one, which has Cheryl Blossom on it, cutting a whole bunch of flowers and stuff like that. And I just loved the cover of this one. I thought it was super, super pretty. And then my favorite one, story-wise, to read was this series, also in the Archie comics, with the Over the Edge. If you have not read this version of Archie in the series, the Over the Edge segment, it is so good. There are about, I think, 3 that I know of right now. So this one is the first one, and then this is the second one, which is what happens next, and then this is the third one. I think there are 3 of this one, but this was my favorite one to read out of the Archie series. So they're all still in order because I like to keep them in order mainly, just because it's easier to find them like that. And yeah, so that's the Archie series. There's a lot of comics within that series, and so I highly recommend that series if you haven't read that comic yet. This is about how much are in the Archie series that I have so far. There's a ton more, but this is the ones that I have so far out of the comics. The next series that I have is, of course, the Riverdale series. Again, this is another compendium that has some of the stories in it as well. But one of my favorite covers is this cover of the Riverdale series. This is number 1 in the series, and this was just a really nice cover of them having a campfire. The next one that was my favorite to read out of the Riverdale ones was this one, because this one was also mainly about Jughead. These ones have the covers of the movie characters on them, and when they have that, it's mainly about that character. So yeah, this is my favorite one to read out of the Riverdale series. I still don't have Veronica Lodge out of this series, which is unfortunate. I need to get her comic out of this series because I don't have it yet, but yeah. So that's that. And then out of that series for Riverdale specifically, that's about how much I have so far in this series. I'm sure there are more to the Riverdale series. I just haven't gone comic book shopping in a while. And so I'm sure there are a lot more. So this is the Riverdale series that I have. The next series is the Archies. This is when they were becoming a band. My favorite cover, I would have to say, is this cover. just with the two ladies, and you will find out who the middle character is when you read this comic, but this is a really good one about when they have formed a band. And my favorite read was this one, just because it was a really good one, and it just talked about the Josie and the Pussycats segment that they have in the Archie comics as well as Riverdale. Out of the Archies, I believe this is all in the series of those. So this is the whole Archies segment. If there are more, let me know in the comment below. But I think that is it for the Archies series. The next one is I need to get more of this series definitely, because it is a really good read, but they do have Archie horror ones that are really good, and this is based off of Cheryl Blossom, and it's Blossoms 666 on the top. And I believe she is a vampire in this one. I'm not exactly sure because I read it a long time ago, and I really need to reread it again. But I think this is when Cheryl is a vampire. So this is a really good cover for this one. This is number 2 in this series. I need to get the rest of this Blossom series because it is a really good read. But this is the only one that I own of that one so far. The next series is the Betty and Veronica series, and my favorite cover out of these is probably this one, just because I love the aesthetic of it. And then probably my favorite read out of this is probably this one, and this is where Tony gets introduced into the comics. But this series is called Betty and Veronica and the Vixens. This one is a different version, but it is still Betty and Veronica, but this is Betty and Veronica Vixens. So this is really cool. It's about them being like a biker gang and stuff like that, which is super cool. The next series that I have, they tend to do a lot of crossovers with DC. So I have some of the DC ones that I know about so far. There's probably more out there because there's probably 1, 2. But I have 5, 6, and 7 maybe? Yeah, I think so. 5, 6, and 7. And so this is the DC crossover that they did. As far as covers go, I really like this cover the best, but as far as reads go, this was the best read. So they have a Betty and Veronica one, which is Harley and Ivy meet Betty and Veronica, and then they have an Archie meets Batman series, which is super cool. So the next of the comic series that I personally love is, of course, the Jughead series. And I would say my favorite cover for the Jughead series is the, hold on. I would have to say this one, which is another horror one. This is the Jughead The Hunger series. This is number 8 in that series. But I really love the way this one looks. And as far as reads go for the Jughead series, I personally loved this read, which is number 5 in the Jughead Hunger series. It was a super good read, and I highly recommend this one also for the horror genre of the Jughead series. So that was all of the comics. And again, for the Jughead series, I know there's more out there, but this is the amount that I have so far. So that was all of the comic series that I have. Now we're going to move on to more miscellaneous art, jewelry, and so on and so forth, and then bedding. So next in my little miscellaneous thing are two of the, I feel, crown jewels of my collection. So as I said, I go to a lot of cons. I love Comic-Con. I love cosplaying and dressing up, which is mainly what this channel is about. And so I went to a Denver Comic-Con, and I was so excited to figure out that Mr. KJ Apa was going that year. And sorry, you can see the glare off of my ring light. But this is a signed photo that was made to me from Mr. KJ Apa, who plays Archie Andrews in the Riverdale series. And it says, "Best wishes, thanks for the gift," and then signed his name with X's. And I gave him a gift at Comic-Con, which was a silhouette of his character's head that said the Riverdale Bulldogs on it, and it said his character's name on the bottom, and it was just signed with a lot of Riverdale quotes, and I just really liked it and like how it came out, and so I gave him that as a gift. And I actually, when I went and got this signed, I actually got to wait no more than 5 minutes because his agent was running late with his headshots, and I already had something for him to sign at that point, and so I got to basically cut the line and got his signature very early on. And I got this little plaque for him just because I loved it. I'm probably gonna get one of these for Jughead as well if I ever meet Cole Sprouse, because I love him and he is one of my top 5 actors to meet, and I would just be content with life. So if I ever get to meet Cole Sprouse, he will be getting his own plaque as well. But it says KJ Apa, Denver Comic-Con in Denver, Colorado, from 15th to the 17th of June in 2018. And he was super nice. His accent in real life is amazing because, for those of you who don't know, he's from New Zealand, and it was just an amazing experience that I will always treasure for the rest of my life. I also have another signature. Like I said, these are mainly my crown jewels of the collection. I have Skeet Ulrich, who told me to live my dreams. That is what he has signed this with. And he was at Comic-Con the same year that KJ Apa was. And it was just amazing. He only had one Riverdale photo, unfortunately. And so I liked this one, which is one of his headshots. The rest of you probably know him from Scream and a whole bunch of other stuff. So that's what he was giving out. He was also giving out scripts from Scream, which I think was super cool. But I hadn't seen Scream at the time that I went to this con. And so when I went to this con, I only knew him from Riverdale. And he plays F.P. Jones, which is Jughead's dad. So this was also a really cool experience, and I hope one day that I get to meet the cast of Riverdale and I get to have them sign photos of them and hang them up next to these two lovely men. Okay, so now we're gonna go over the artwork, and the artwork is mainly from different Comic-Cons. Like I said, I love going to Comic-Cons, and one of the things that I tend to buy and purchase there is art. I'm always looking for new Riverdale art, new Disney art, new Harry Potter art, just like things that I'm interested in, and I happened to find a few pieces at different cons that pertain to Riverdale, which I'm super psyched about. So I have this one first, which I thought this was a really cool art concept. This is the movie characters versus the comic book characters in a phone. So this is what the original comic characters look like of the earlier comics, and then this is what the TV show characters look like, and it's just really cool because it looks like they're taking a selfie, but it is instead the comic book characters, and I just think this is really creative and well done. So I love this piece. The next one that we have is, of course, Jughead. This is Mr. Jughead Jones, and this is what I was talking about with his serpent jacket. He has his beanie on in this one, but here is his Southside Serpents jacket to where you can actually like fully see it, and it's really, really cool. This is a scene from Riverdale in season 1, and you guys who have watched it will know this scene and love this scene as much as I did. I think it was so funny, and yeah, so this is the Archie Got Hot art piece. And it's really funny because those of you who know this scene know that this was just hilarious. The next one that I have is, I love these because they are really well drawn. They did have the core 4, but I only got my 2 favorite characters, but also the couple of Riverdale that I love so much, Betty and Jughead. These were really, really, really cute. And these actually, I think, came with this one and the serpent one. Because I think these were all done by the same artist. And also this one. So I kind of got them all from the same artist, which is really, really nice. And he has his signature at the bottom there. And these are just so beautifully drawn, and I love them. Like I said, they do have ones with Veronica and Archie, but I loved these 2 characters in the show and still love them to this day. I love Lily Reinhart and Cole Sprouse, and so these are the ones that I picked. This next one is kind of funny because there is an artist at Comic-Con who, if you're watching this, I really do love your work, and I hope that you will do the rest of the characters. But I got my favorite character done from hers, or I bought my favorite character from hers. This is Jughead as a cat, which I think fits him perfectly. She does so many characters as cats, and they all are very, very spot on. This is Braden Duncan from Clockwork Art. If you want to go look her up, I'm sure she has social media and whatnot. So go look this person up. They really do great artwork, and this is the Jughead kitten art that I got. Her website, or their website, I should say, is also on the back. It is www.clockworkart.com, where you can see the rest of the collection that has been drawn. So go check them out. They do such good work and it's so fun, and I just love this little postcard piece. This is my biggest Riverdale art so far that I have found that has been very, very well done. And like I said, guys, I'm always looking for Riverdale art. So if you happen to go to Comic-Cons and you happen to know of an artist that has been drawing Riverdale art recently, please let me know and put it in the comments below and I will check it out. But this is one of my favorite art pieces and by far the biggest art pieces that I've ever bought for Riverdale. And it has the core 4 on it, girls up top and the boys at the bottom. And I think it's super cool that they put kind of the couples on top of each other. So Betty and Jughead and Archie and Veronica, which is super, super cute. I love this art piece. This one isn't really an art piece, but I like to hang it up. I got it at, again, a Comic-Con, but this was the poster for season 3, the new poster that happened for season 3, and I just loved it and got it at a con, and it stays in this little protective case so that it doesn't get like bent or anything like that. But this is the new Riverdale poster for season 3 and it has pretty much all of the characters, all of the main characters on it, which is beautiful. I love the aesthetic. Okay, we only have 2 more categories left to go over, so bear with me, guys. I know that it is kind of a longer video than you guys are used to, but I really do want to share my love for Riverdale, and there will be a Harry Potter collection video coming up shortly, so stay tuned for that, as well as, of course, more cosplay videos. But the next category is jewelry. Now, I only have a couple things jewelry-wise, just because I tend to not wear so much jewelry anymore. I mean, I have, you know, my specific bracelets and just on one necklace on, but these are mainly for show, except for the earrings. So I recently got Riverdale earrings from Hot Topic, and it has all of the main symbols that perfectly describe the show. So you have guitars for Archie, you have cherries for Cheryl, you have the crown right here for Jughead, you have a wrench for Betty, and you have the pearls for Veronica, which is very, very cute. The next in the jewelry set, somebody got this for me for Christmas because they know how much I love Riverdale, and it is the Riverdale ring set. This is mainly a couples set, I feel like, because I feel like this one is a little bit more feminine and then this one is a little bit more masculine, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong, but they look like cloth rings, which is super, super cool. And again, mainly I just have them in their box on display just because, you know, I find them more as collector's items, and this kind of jewelry will turn my skin green. So there's that. And then I also have, this is not really jewelry, it's just a keychain of Jughead, and it says Jughead Jones on the back, and it has a crown and a cheeseburger, because those of you who know, that is also iconic to Jughead's character, is the cheeseburger symbol. And then there's Cole Sprouse on the front making his iconic scowling face, as he usually does. And then last category is bedding. Now I have pillowcases that have Riverdale on them. So this one is for the Jughead series of Riverdale. It says, "I love you, Betty Cooper" on it. And of course, you can't have the Jughead one without having the Betty one as well. This one says, "I love you, Jughead" on it. Just because Jughead is my favorite ship out of the entire series. And I also have a huge body pillow with the two boys on it. So on one side you have Archie Andrews, on the other you have Jughead Jones. And I tend to keep it on Jughead mainly because, again, he is my favorite character. Alright guys, so that was it for my collection video of Riverdale. I hope you guys enjoyed. There is another collection video for Harry Potter coming up, and so stay tuned for that, and also a lot more cosplay videos coming up. I hope you guys enjoyed this collection. Let me know if you guys want me to put anything in the description below. I will happily do that for you guys if you want to, you know, purchase the pop figures or the comics or the magazines or the bedding or anything like that. I will put it in the description below. You just gotta let me know in the comments. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye guys.